Benchmark, the voice of business. Presented by LMD.
On this week's edition of Benchmark, the LMD Nielsen Biz Confidence Index registered a marginal increase in February. Details in our top story. Then in our feature segment, we turn the spotlight on Tilak Selvaya, Executive Consultant of LOLC and Director and COO of Browns Investments, for his thoughts on the tourism industry, in particular its HR function. And we wrap up this edition by talking to Shaheen Kader, the Managing Director of the Nielsen company Lanka, who analyzes the BCI data. That's the lineup for Benchmark this week. The LMD Nielsen Business Confidence Index, or BCI, may not reflect the shenanigans of the topsy-turvy month of February because the exclusive poll was conducted in the first 9 days of the month prior to the fireworks that sent Sri Lankans running for cover. Welcome to Benchmark. I'm Savitri Rodrigo. Business people were in two minds early last month ahead of the twin shocks of fuel price hikes and the rupee's free fall. The bad news in mid-February spread like wildfire, from price hikes virtually across the board to higher borrowing costs to another dramatic loss of face and value of the rupee and a bourse that shed market cap like a panic-stricken bear. The marginal increase in the February BCI, with the index nudging upwards by 3 basis points to settle at 154, may well be due to strong corporate financial performance in the past 3 to 12 months, says Shaheen Kader, the Nielsen company's managing director. He also notes that concerns about the global downturn have increased further from the previous month, and these concerns have impacted confidence on future business performance, and there is also an increasing trend in the numbers that are deferring future investment. One executive who was interviewed by Nielsen's survey team believed that Sri Lanka is moving into a recessionary situation like we faced in 2008, with interest rates going up, inflation going up, the cost of living going up, no foreign investment, the rupee losing value, and businesses holding expansion plans, he points out. The Nielsen company Lanka's pollsters report that a slim majority, 53% of BCI participants, have high expectations of the economy going forward, which is a carbon copy of the outcome in the preceding month, but it would be wise to await next month's survey results. There's been a slight drop in the level of comfort amongst business people about their sales volumes in the next 3 months, with the number that say things will get worse increasingly by 5 percentage points to 25% in February. On the other hand, more than half, 51% of survey participants, still believe sales will get better during this time. And whilst the same goes for expectations in the next 12 months, 55% are optimistic, this represents a drop in confidence from the nearly two-thirds that said so only a month ago. The surprise result emanating from the February poll commissioned by LMD is that there's been a groundswell of optimism attaching to Sri Lanka's FDI prospects. Only 17% say the investment climate is poor or worse compared to a quarter of the sample in January. But turn the clock back to October last year, and this proportion was less than 1 in 10, so the outcome isn't as bright as it seems on the face of it. One survey participant cautions that interest rates are going up, so people might not spend much on goods and services in the future. He adds that therefore we are worried about the future for business, and also that borrowing costs will increase. Another executive believes that the rupee float is pointless since we are an import-dependent country. This will add to the cost of imports and the input materials of locally produced goods. So the reality out there perception-wise is that both a squeeze on disposable incomes and higher import costs will undermine business in the months ahead. It is highly likely that the index will take a beating next month following the sudden turn of events in mid-February, and there could well be more of the same in the near term, unless corporate types take the view that the bad news in recent weeks represent the ground realities, harsh as they are, meaning that they are merely corrections. Spotlight is up next, and we speak to Tilak Selvaya on the human resources aspect of the tourism industry. But first, we have some messages from our sponsors.